Hello gorgeous, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. I am excited to share with you today the results of my chopping block or goodbye series that I started last month. I'm going to go through the products that I said I was going to make an attempt to use, that I chose not to declutter, and if I used them and I liked the performance, they will stay. If I didn't, it's time to say goodbye. So if that sounds interesting, just keep watching. I am starting with eyeshadow palettes. I grabbed one of my oldest eyeshadow palettes in my collection. This is the Too Faced Natural Mattes. I said that even though it was old, it still, from what I remembered the last time I had used it, performed very well. It still smells good. I love the color stories, so beautiful. You have a warm, a cool, and a neutral, sort of three sets of trios going on. I did a video where I used the, I believe this would be the warm trio, Lace Teddy, All Natural, and Hookup. And then today I used this top row, which I would say is more neutral, and that is less is more is what I put in my crease. I used Sexpert in my outer corner. I took Heaven to clean up the other edges, and then I used a glitter shadow on the lid. I'll get to that in a minute. This, I'm not ready to say goodbye to this. I think this is a beautiful palette. I'm gonna hold on to it a bit longer, and I'm glad that I made the effort to give it some use and be reminded of how good it actually is. By the way, anything that I'm wearing on my face today, I will have linked in the description box below. Also, all of the products that I'm talking about, to the best of my knowledge, are all products that are still available. I don't like to share about products on my channel that you can't get your hands on. That's so frustrating to me when I hear a creator talk about a product that she loves that I can't get. The next eyeshadow palette was this one right here from Morphe. This is the Truth or Bare, and I was pretty sure in my last video that I was not going to get rid of this palette. I was just sad that it had sort of gotten lost in the back of the drawer. This is a gorgeous, neutral, warm, and cool palette that reminds me very much of my Dominique Cosmetics Transitions palette, but for half the price. The Dominique Transitions palette is also all matte, and this one does have shimmers. And while the shimmers in this palette do not knock my socks off, they are still decent shimmers. I'm never sad when I use them. The texture is right, they feel good, and then the mattes are just beautiful. I have done multiple eye looks with this palette in the last month and am convinced this is gorgeous. I highly recommend it. If you need something just for the day-to-day that's gonna have the peaches, the plums, the browns, the creams, the champagnes, taupey, brown, gray, this is the palette for you. It is beautiful. You can get Morphe on sale quite often. I did not even pay full price for this palette, but I do believe that it's worth it. On to cream shadows. Now this is the biggest collection that I have in front of me to go through. The first grouping is my e.l.f. No Budge shadow sticks. These are the three that I have. This one is a, I will list all the colors. This one is like a steely blue gray. This one is from the Mint Melt collection. Here it is there. And then this is my beloved Cookies and Dreams that I did love for a long time. These are inexpensive, and this is just my opinion. If you've had a different experience, please share it in the comments. But these have not performed as well as I would like them to. Especially in this declutter series when I'm using things like the Nabla or the Mercier, I am blatantly reminded of the fact that sometimes you get what you pay for. And these, you know, I recently did a video on the Juvia's Place Garden of Juvia beautiful pastels palette. Well, I wore that the other day, and I took this and I put it on the lid as a base and put a pretty minty shimmer green on top of it. And my eyeshadow looked terrible. A couple of hours in, it was creased, it had like bald spots. Like, these cannot be used as bases. I believe that they crease when they are on the lid alone. The only thing that I would use these for, if you have these and you want to use them, is I will sometimes use them in my bottom lash line. I will use them under my eye and then top them with a shadow. That doesn't seem to be a problem, but for that reason and the reason I'm not reaching for them, these, I'm gonna say goodbye. While we were discussing Nabla, I had held on to all three of these Nabla. These are the Cupid's Arrow shadow sticks, and they are gorgeous. I will show you the blue. This is the blue from Nabla. This is the pretty, like, creamy brown. Love that one. That's probably my favorite. And then the last one was this sort of winey brown. It's a more of like a plum. And while I made efforts to use these, I used this one the most. Then came the blue, and I don't think I used this one at all. So I kind of called it in my last video. This is the one that I thought I wouldn't reach for, and it is the one that I do not reach for. So this one is going, while these are staying. Might as well throw the Laura Mercier in here. This is a travel size that I got, I believe, from Sephora, and I believe the color is taupe. And this one sort of ruined it for everybody else because it is amazing. I know that I believe Sephora has, either Sephora or Ulta has a set on their website right now where you can get two, and I believe they're discounted. I would recommend picking up one or more of these Laura Mercier Caviar sticks, because if they all perform like this one, they are amazing. This is going on my wish list to pick up more colors because I'm in love. I've heard that Bobbi Brown has a really good shadow stick as well. And again, please share in the comments if you know of a really good one, but this one for sure is staying. I had two brown liners, one from Nudestix and the other one from the Sephora brand. And while I love so many things of the Sephora collection, this one just feels drier, it's harder to move. This one is easier to work with, so the Nudestix is going to stay, and the Sephora is gonna go. Another brown that I have is this Scribble stick from Flower Beauty. I do really enjoy this one. This is a nice brown, and this one performs a little bit better than the e.l.f. shadow sticks on the lid, but just because of the shade Espresso, I really enjoy going under the eye with it. It's so smooth and creamy. This one is nice. I wouldn't mind having more colors, so this one's going to stay. Jason Wu. Let's get into some glitters. This is my Jason Wu shadow topper. It is called Celestial Lust. I think it's called Butterfly. This one is just, I was drawn to it because it's just a pretty silver glitter. And while this one I don't have problems with creasing, I used it maybe once and I was disappointed because for my personal taste, I want a little more pigment underneath. Well, you see how it is there, and then look at the Laura Mercier. It's just got so much more pop. This is more of a topper. This is more of a solid, opaque glitter. So it might be personal taste, but this one from Jason Wu is going. Now, this one from Ofra. Oh, this is beautiful. This is the 5-star eyeshadow glitter. This is, I have this one and one other one are my two favorite liquid glitters. This is stunning. Beautiful, wore it a few times. Every time I wore it, I was amazed. This is almost more of a taupey champagne as well. Absolutely stunning, and Ofra you can get on sale a lot. They have a lot of really nice products. This one for sure is staying. My Huda, I had this one on yesterday. This is a dual-ended eyeshadow and glitter, and it looks like I'm going through it. Sometimes the problem with these is you don't get a whole lot. This one has a coppery glitter shade that can go on the lid, and also a matte base that you can put around it or underneath it. But this one, absolutely gorgeous. Definitely recommend. No cracking or looking thick on the lid. This one is called Latte. Very nice. The glitter shadow that I have on my lid today is this one right here, and this one is in very close competition when it comes to liquids to the Ofra. This is the Patrick Starr Eye Popper Sparkle Vision eyeshadow, and this one is in the shade Pea House. This, like I said, is on my lids today. It is stunning. I'm running out of room. I love this shadow. It's got a nice opacity to it and just the most amazing sparkle. Wow, it is so beautiful. It's even more sparkly than the Ofra. This is one that I would use in more colors too. So stay. My Morphe Silver. This is a liquid silver, and I think this one is no longer around. And while it's okay, I'm not gonna use it on camera, so this one's gonna go. This Wet n Wild Catsuit. This, I was gonna say, Gigi, if you watch this video, you inspired me to pull this out because I've heard you talk about it before. This is a shadow base or a liquid shadow from Wet n Wild. I did use this month and was reminded it's good. It's very good. The shade is Sandcastles. I did this all over my lid, just sort of buffed it into the crease and then tapped a little shimmer on top, and so inexpensive. As usual, Wet n Wild. I almost always love their products. This one is staying. And the last one is this one from Danessa Myricks. I wanted to love this more than I do. This is in the shade Nebula. This is her 24-hour color fix. And while it's beautiful, I do struggle with creasing. I'm so on the fence with that because it is so beautiful. I tend to be heavy-handed, so maybe it's the kind of situation where you put a light layer on, let it dry, and stop, or make sure it's completely dry before you add more. I don't know, but it's beautiful. I'm gonna hang on to it. I tried to use it as a highlight. It was a little bit much. This Stellar Lights highlight from Milani. I absolutely love it. This is beautiful. I have worn this multiple times over the last month, and it is stunning. This is the only shade that I don't use. I still haven't tried to use it as a bronzer topper. I said I would. Should I do it right now? So we'll see if I look crazy. Ooh. Not bad at all. If you're looking for a little bit of shimmer in your bronzer and you're around my skin tone, there you go. Absolutely love it. Not going anywhere. I have so many highlighters, but this is a good one. The next one is from Glamlight. This is their S'mores collection. I just love everything from Glamlight. Come on, Michaela Pot 2. I need that palette to get here. I'm just itching to film with that. But this is their S'mores palette, and in here you have a bronzer and two different highlights. I know this one looks dark, but it's a really pretty gold. And then this one is more of a champagne. Isn't that pretty? And then you have a nice bronzer. And my biggest complaint with this one is that the pan sizes are just a little bit small for me to get my brush in. Sometimes I feel like I'm getting into the highlight when I'm getting into the bronze, but I did make an effort to use this and I do like it, so I'm not ready to let go. You're staying. I forgot a shadow stick. Here's another shadow stick from NYX. This is Cobalt. It doesn't exist anymore. They have another one. They might have just reformulated it. I don't use this. It's too bulky. I'm not going to wear it under my eyes. It's going. And the last thing that I have is my e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer. I did make even more of a dent in this bronzer in the past month. It is on today over my ColourPop Cream bronzer. And I love this. I use this to contour my nose. It is a good bronzer for under $10. I have so many bronzers, but this remains to be a good one, and I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna use this baby all up. So I ended up deciding to declutter 8 of the shadow sticks, and then the other things are staying. Was this a successful chopping block or goodbye? I think so, because now I was reminded how much I love these items. My makeup wipes are dry, so this is gonna stay on for a while. Stay tuned. I'm gonna pick a product from every category and make a decision, and I'm gonna do this every month. What did I choose to use? And maybe there'll be more than one in each category. We shall see, but that video is coming, and if I am not still in love with them, they're gonna go. What do I have excess of right now? So many blushes and bronzers and highlights and foundations. All right, I have a lot of everything. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Let me know if you found it helpful. If you've not subscribed, please consider subscribing before you leave. I would love to have you join me. I post videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Give the video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.